Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be talking about having a cast and whether it is actually a good thing or whether it's just really bad. So recently I got this comment on my I fractured my wrist vlog and I was like, cool, I'll make a video about it. And I'm very sorry, but I have a splint on. It's not actually a cast, but I can actually vouch for wearing a cast because I broke my left wrist in year 5 when I fell off the monkey bars, which is a typical injury. Um, and the first step, I just want to say, having a cast does have some good sides and does have some bad sides. Um, Now, when I fractured my, this is actually my right hand, and I'm right-handed. Um, so it actually matters what kind of hand that you hurt, and which, and what, like if you're left-handed or right-handed. I mean, if you're ambidextrous, then that's great. It would just be good news. I mean, it wouldn't be good news if you break your left wrist or something. But I'm very clumsy. I get hurt all the time. I have bruises and bumps. I've broken my left wrist. I've fractured my right. I've almost dislocated my elbow. I mean, that's just because I'm hypermobile. Anyway, this person, Brad Y, sent me some questions that I will answer. So we have here, how bad your arm hurt? How bad does your arm hurt? Now, I'm gonna say not too bad, but it is quite bad that it does make me like groan in pain sometimes. But it kind of depends on how bad you broke your wrist or arm, for that matter. Now, for me, I fractured it, which is not really too bad, but it does need some treatment, because the specialist saw like just a little break on the wrist. But for people with a broken arm, there's actually a visible crack like in one of the bones in your wrist. And I mean, if you want to ask somebody else who has had a broken bone, then you're welcome to do that. But it can vary on the pain. Sometimes it can be really bad. Sometimes it can not really be very good. Sometimes at night it just bothers me. That's what I also want to talk about. When I'm trying to sleep, like with my splint on, it's really annoying. And I'm a side sleeper. I don't know about you, but I'm a really heavy side sleeper. Never slept on my back. Unless I've got like a neck issue, which I have had recently. And I usually tend to sleep on my left side because I have acid reflux, and that tends to lower down the pain sometimes. And you know how you sleep on the side and your arm is just like there? I try and get it in a comfortable position, I'm like, be this way. Like, it's just really uncomfortable in bed. So next question, sorry, I went on red. What the cast feels like inside against your arm, is it soft, itchy, etc. Now, I mean, the cast doesn't feel too bad. Well, technically a split. But it is it kind of holds my wrist in place because, you know, it has to mend on itself on its own. And sometimes it gets really itchy. Because where I'm from Australia, it gets really hot in the summertime. It's been a bit cool, which is really good, but sometimes it gets really itchy. And with my splint, I can actually take it off. But with something like a brace, a cast, you can't like just like take it off and itch it, because that would just be impossible. You need to wait for, so yeah, it gets really itchy. If it's really hot, even if it's really cold, it can get really itchy inside. Anyway, okay, so shout out, Brad Y. I give you my shout. I don't know how shout outs work, but Brad Y. Check out his channel or something. I don't know if you have any videos, but I did check your channel and you don't have any videos. So I don't know what to say for this, but Brad Y. Just look in the comments. You can give him, I don't know, like a like or something. Anyway, what the pain is like. Now, again, it can vary from time of day, and it can also vary on how much I've used my arm throughout the day. Something like if you use your arm quite a bit, because I still have to, feed my cat, open the cat food container and the tin. I actually made myself bleed while opening a cat tin. Another story for another day. What was I talking about? Yeah, the pain. Yeah, it could vary. Does it hurt the whole time? It depends on different kinds of variables. So for me, it's a fracture. So it is kind of painful sometimes. For something like a broken arm, it can be very painful. I mean, I have broken my wrist before, so it's very, very painful. But no, for some people, it only is like it comes on every once in a while. It's very painful, but then it goes away in like a minute or two, and then they just I wouldn't say they forget about their injury because it's a cast, so it's a constant reminder that you are clumsy enough to break your wrist all the time. Do you like wearing it and getting it signed? Now before I had this splint on, it was kind of firm. I do have 2 other wrist braces from the chemist, and I can say this splint is kind of firm. It keeps my wrist in place, which is something that often helps the bone like repair itself. But yeah, I do like wearing it. I hope I will get out of it. I'm getting it off on January 26th. So I'm gonna wear it through Christmas, which is kind of depressing. Getting it, so I don't get it signed because 1, I don't really like attention, and 2, it's a splint, so I don't know how people would sign this. I don't know. Does your arm hurt any now? I don't know what you meant by does your arm hurt any now, but I'll try and explain. I mean, if you're talking about the pain now, kind of dull pain, really, kind of sore. Sometimes it hurts and I can't actually, oh, sorry about that, I just had lunch, and I can't put pressure on it because then it would hurt more. I don't know about that question. Did it hurt when they set your arm? Not really. But depending on my situation, I had this injury a month before it was solved. So, I mean, the pain was getting worse, but when they set my arm, it kind of felt like really nice. Like you finally knew what the problem was and you were actually getting it fixed instead of just worrying about it and not knowing what's wrong with it. Were you curious about having a cast and have you ever signed any casts? So I did have a cast before in year 5 when I broke my left wrist. It was kind of, it was a good experience, I guess. I was in year 5 in that time, and I just loved having we usually had lunch in the classroom when it was raining, and I just loved sleeping on my cast, like resting on it. I don't know how effective that is, or if it like damages it more, but I only had the cast on for 4 weeks that time, so it was more painful than the fracture that I've got now. I've never signed any casts because I'm the clumsiest of the family. Okay, can you show your cast up close and sign it? Here it is. There's a little bandage underneath, but let me just take it off for a second, so you can kind of see what is under here. So that is the actual like splint part, and there's like a little, just a bandage underneath. Can I sign it? I'll put it back on, sorry. Yes, I can sign it, but the problem with that is I gotta go back in a couple weeks, and I don't want a person's name on my cast. They'll be like, who is that? And I'll be like, one of my, I don't know if you're a subscriber, one of my subscribers that has commented me. Well, okay. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for your comment. And I don't know if you're a subscriber of mine, but if you are, thank you. It's very rare that I get comments from my actual subscribers. Okay, so I've got this dry eraser, so I can like rub it off so they won't see the name, but I will definitely put it back on if I can. If I open this, everything is much harder when you have one hand. How do I open this? Hang on. Okay, there is no way I'm getting this off. What is going on? Oh, there we go. Ow. Oh, I got it on me. Okay, so I don't know how. Oh, that smell is. Oh, that smell is terrible. I don't know where I'm gonna sign it. Maybe I'll put it here. I don't know how I'm gonna do it because I'm right-handed. So this looks so. But oh, there we go. No. So here. So doop, doop, doop. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'll just get it up close to the camera. I wrote it upside down, but there we go. Brad Y. I don't know if that's a real name. Okay, there we go. I'll never be able to open that again. Okay, there we go. I've signed it. Very happy about that. How bad does it hurt from 1 to 10? Does the pain change? The pain is kind of like a 7 at the moment. At the time where I didn't know what the problem was, it was probably like an 8 or a 9, because the wrist brace that I had before was very flimsy and it let my arm like move. Oh, that didn't make sense. Wasn't really firm with keeping it in place, but yeah, I gotta say I'm not very good at convincing. I've never convinced somebody of anything before. But I hope this changes your mind in some way. I don't know how this is gonna go as a video, because I've never actually done a video to one of my comments. But thank you for your comment, Brad Y. I hope you know your decision, and maybe make a video about a cast. You okay? That would be pretty cool. And maybe you could put my name on it or something. I don't know how you would fit that on there. Anyway, I will see you in the next video.